was Clemson's win over Syracuse, the comeback win over Syracuse. In that game, they had to bench their starting quarterback. DJ was benched. Cade Klubnik was in. And if you watched or listened to what Coach Sweeney had to say after the game, he kind of poo-pooed it pretty quickly and reiterated that this is DJ Uiagalelei's team. Do we buy this or do we not? Is Cade Klubnik going to be Clemson's quarterback again this season? George, you're our QB guru. Let's go to you first. What do you think?
Yes, 100%. Cade will be the starter. They just got to get their arms wrapped around it. And it's not like Cade can campaign for it. He didn't campaign for it. DJ's performance opened the door to it. And it's probably opened the door to it several other times, and they just resisted it. Right now, they are coming down the back stretch of an undefeated season, which they need to be undefeated, Max, in order to get a shot at this playoff deal. You cannot come in here with taking a shot on the nose. You just can't. So everybody in that building's feeling pressure. They were out of this thing the last couple of years. DJ's performance has opened this door up. Now, he's a competitor, and hopefully he'll respond. But Cade right now, they see these guys in practice every day. They saw Cade in the offseason. They know what he is. And so now he's got to cut his teeth a little bit. But you saw him kind of try to compose himself and settle a little bit on the fly, on a championship run. And this is your first year on campus. I mean, I don't even know if he knows the engineering building's at. And he's starting to kind of figure this thing out. He will start. He will start. Two things happen real quick now going forward. You got to talk about the psychology of DJ and the psychology of Dabo. DJ, is he going to play gun shy? I can't make mistakes. Or is he going to try to go out here and really play freely? Even playing freely with no threat of a backup coming in hadn't done real well. Then you got the psychology of Dabo Sweeney. If I stick with what I said at the reporters and just put DJ back in, how long can I afford to do that? And then am I doing right by my team and my staff? We're all working really hard. This position has a disproportionate level of influence. Am I loyal to a man or am I loyal to a team? It's going to be fascinating watching those two deals unfold, Max.
No, you're absolutely right. And as a guy who had to deal with the era of Spurrier and the funning gun, two quarterback systems, this does not feel like that, right? This isn't Jesse Palmer, Rex Grossman. This isn't Tim Tebow, Chris Leak. This is something different. Like the performance is what led to the switch. Mm-hmm. And you think about how, like you just talked about, George, right? That psychology. Like I got benched and the dude went in. The Monday Night Football game is on right now. And the same thing literally happened right up here. You had Mac Jones coming back off an injury, starting sluggish. You pull him, and Bailey Zappi automatically makes it happen. So that's where it is. Like for DJ, yes, it's going to be a mental blow. But at the same time, this is a performance-based sport. The only thing you can do is perform at the best of your ability when given the opportunity. Cade can't sit there and feel bad for DJ, and DJ can't sit there and get mad at Cade. It's like, listen, and the words of Snoop Dogg, your chick chose me. You know what I'm saying? So now he's in that position. So, you know, you might try and window dress it. Hey, I'm going to go to dinner with him one more time. We're going to try and smooth it out. But really, I had a really great time with you. We're going to see how I can ease him down slowly. But it has to go down that way because you've seen the performance issues. And DJ's still on the bench. He's still on the team. You know, it's there if anything goes wrong in these next couple of weeks, right? Because you do have a Notre Dame game. You got Wake Forest down the line. You got some big games you still need to get over the hump on. And having both of them available in the right mindset is just the best way to go.
Max, I'm glad you brought up the Patriots because I've got it on in the background right now. And we're watching this play out in real time with Mac Jones. And a totally different situation, different talent levels, right? But the most interesting thing to me when watching this before we started the show, I had the volume on. It's like even through the television screen, you could feel the aura in the stadium shift. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, the camera's cutting to guys that have the fans that have the Zappy signs and the T-shirts and everything. And it's just like, it was like almost a breath of fresh air because they've seen this guy have success in a way that even Jones didn't have early in the season. And then, now all of a sudden on the fly, it happens. He has one big play. And I got to imagine that psychologically that's big and that's important to players on a football field. So, George, my question to you in light of that would be, knowing your history, you've worked with the greatest quarterbacks on earth. That's no exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
What does, is this just a one game thing? Like Dabo's trying to make us believe, and even Cade Klubnik in his post-game presser came very clearly out to say, this is DJ's team. I had one good half. Next week, it's DJ's football team. How does DJ respond from that mentally? Like, can he actually just view that as one bad half, or is he going to feel the snowball effect linger and carry into the next week?
It's going to be his greatest test. It's going to be his greatest, toughest test. So much of playing quarterback is the association, especially once you become a starter, being associated with leading from the front. And when you're not the starter, it's like the general who's on the horse who has to get down off the horse. And now you find yourself amongst the rest of the troops. You got to kind of figure that out. And you are uncomfortable down on the ground. You've been up front. You've been up on top of that horse leading. This is going to be his greatest test. The only real way I know for him to drive forward is work. You can't. Your performance has already spoken so loudly. We took you out of the game down 21-10. The true freshman comes in with that double-digit deficit, and however it was, hook or by crook, by this or by that, we come out with a win to maintain our perfect season. That's going to be a tough deal. The only real way he could do it is by working. He's got to be working. He's got to be vocal. Be what you are. If you've always been vocal in the weight room, stay vocal in the weight room. If you've always been real gracious in the quarterback room, stay gracious. Like the bite of this thing can push you into some dark corners. He's got to stay in the middle of the ring with that. Get out to practice, work, study yourself on film, be who you've been. You got to be who you've been, and you got to keep working. That's pretty much it. And a quick note about Klubnik. So I've known both these kids since they were like early high school, right? They both just took over their starting jobs. Cade is the type of dude, fellas, that if you dropped your wallet, he would run and catch up to you or drive it across town to you, and he'd attach a $20 bill to it because you were inconvenienced, or hey, you left this at my place. Hey, Max, this is your wallet. And I put $20 in here too. And I also noticed you had a little Burger King receipt. I threw that out. You didn't want to carry that trash. That's who he is, right? And as soon as DJ does something great in practice, the first voice that he's going to hear from congratulating him on that, Cade. It will be real fortunate because Cade he just doesn't have, those fangs and claws like a lot of quarterback rooms would have. DJ's fortunate from that standpoint. He's unfortunate from the standpoint that Cade's a worker. He's a killer quietly, and he's been winning all through his Texas career. Now he's on your heels. Awful timing. But it will be fascinating to see how this plays out.
All right, so let's wrap the Cade Klubnik segment of this with a simple, pointed question. Maybe it's not this simple, but I'm going to do my classic tie your hands and make you answer this here. Max, you're going to go first.
Okay.
Two-part question. Part one, could this Clemson team win a national championship with DJ as the full-time quarterback? Yes or no?
No.
Can this Clemson team win a national championship with Cade Klubnik at quarterback? Yes or no?
No.
George, same questions.
I agree on both ends.
Okay, good. I just had to get the pulse there. I was curious if this really shifted the needle or not.
Thank you. Thank you. Checking. Yep.
I agree, but he speaks the truth both ways.
Vitals are there, Max. I'm glad we checked that, right? The vitals
Exactly. Vitals are there. I know I can be a bit dramatic, so I just wanted to make. Yep. No, it's steady. Da-doom. We're good.